Hello students, welcome to the new video in the bioinformatics series. This one is biological databases. So let's begin. What is basically a database? Database is basically an organized collection of information in computer readable format. So as we all know, data is scattered randomly in literature and it is the one who stores and arranges the data. So basically, if you have to give an overall definition of a database, it is a collection of data that is structured, searchable, updated periodically and cross-referenced. Moving further, what are the characteristics of a database? First one is non-redundancy. Non-redundancy means that no data should be duplicated in a database. Next is contents and list of valid terms and definition. It means basically while searching, if you are giving in search results some acronyms or some short form of a particular big thing like PMID is protein mutant ID, so those things should be explained somewhere in the database or somewhere in the website of the database, so that the non-biological person or the person who doesn't know the full form of that acronym should be able to comprehend. Next is the logical structure called schema. It means the database should follow a logical step for the flow of information from point A to point B. Next is format of the data. Format of data means while searching, the data should be present in a particular format. Whatever you search in that database, if the result is there, then that data should be presentable to the end user in a particular format. Next is the route of selective retrieval and retrieval of data and presentation. It basically means it should be easy to submit the data to a database and it should also be easy to retrieve the data from the database. Next one is link to other information resources. It basically means while searching, if you are getting multiple results and if someone wants to know in further or in detail of one particular result, then there should be a link present on the website or in the search results that if you want to know further about this thing, then follow these links. I will explain these things in detail in the next slides. So for now, let's move forward. So this is the snippet of a database. It's a thermodynamic database maintained by IIT Chennai. So if I have to search, if I'm searching a protein named lysozyme, so this is the result I am getting. So here you can see there are certain terms, PRIID, then PDB mutant, then PDB wild. If I'm not a biological person, then these things are not easy for me to understand. So like I said, there should be a proper representation of these short forms. Like here it is written as PMD number is protein mutant database accession number, PDB wild is protein data bank code for the native protein. This is the schema which I am talking about in the previous slide, the logical structure of a database. The information should flow from point A to point B in a logical pattern. Next is the format which I've talked about in the previous slide, that whenever you search, you should get results in a particular format. It should be consistent throughout the database. These next one is the search options which you can get. These are customizable options. You can choose all the default option while searching, or you can modify them according to your need. Now this one is the last one that I was talking about. If you are getting multiple results, for suppose that lysozyme you are getting 3 results, and if you want to know in detail of any of these results, then you can, these links are clickable. Like here's a reference, like here is E11, these links are clickable. So if you click on any of these links, then you can get further information about this search result. Next is relational database. So what is relational database? Suppose there is a condition where two separate data are maintained in a database in separate tables, and if a user asks for a combination of data which is present in 2 different tables, we can understand this with the help of a figure. Like suppose in this figure there is a column called distal group and a column 3-letter group, 3-letter code for amino acid, and there is a separate table which is having distal group, hydrogen bond donor, hydrogen bond acceptor. So if particular user asks for a 3-letter code of amino acid which have distal carboxyl group, so we can easily tell because it is a result from a single table. We can search here distal group and it is carboxyl here, and nowhere else there is a carboxyl. So we can give two such results. One is ASP and another is GLU. But what if the user search for amino acid which can serve as hydrogen bond acceptor as well as is a distal carboxyl, having distal carboxyl group? So distal carboxyl group and distal carboxyl group here, this parameter, or this becomes a key to join the two groups or two tables. So we can search here. We got two results from this table from the first question. One is ASP and one is GLU. So we can search here, where is the carboxyl distal group? Here is the carboxyl distal group. Okay, and it is a hydrogen bond acceptor. So basically these two groups are hydrogen bond acceptor. Moving further, classification of databases. So basically database can be classified into two groups on the basis of source and on the basis of nature of data. So on the basis of source, we can call them as primary and secondary database. On the basis of nature of data, we can divide them into sequence database, structure database, signal transaction pathway, gene expression, metabolic pathways, and few more, which 2 or 3 are not mentioned in this, but this is a general broad classification. So what is a primary database? Primary database is the collection of the results from the lab experiments in the raw form. Secondary database, what is secondary database? It is a database which contains the result derived from the primary database. Okay, so in a sequence database can be further divided into nucleotide database and protein database. Same way structure database can be further divided into protein database. So nucleotide database can be further divided into primary database and secondary database, and protein database can be also be further divided into primary, secondary, interaction databases. So basically what does this mean? It means primary data is basically a very raw data which are the results of a lab experiment, and secondary data is the derived data from the primary data. Like in primary data, if we are submitting sequence, then based on that sequence, secondary data must be having the structure of that sequence. Based on that sequence, the structure must be generated. That data is present in the secondary database. Like secondary database of protein, they generally contain the structure of protein, and the primary database of protein, they contains the amino acid sequence of proteins. Okay, so and the signal transaction pathway is example. One example is NATPath. For gene expression database, an example is Ensemble. Metabolic pathway database, one example is Brenda. So here is another picture which can help you understand what are the databases. Databases can be divided into nucleotide database and protein database. Nucleotide database have primary databases, which are basically these are the examples of primary database of nucleotide. EMBL is the European Molecular Biology Laboratory. GenBank, DDBJ is DNA Data Bank of Japan. Protein database can be further divided into sequence database, interaction database, a structure database. These are the examples of sequence database: UniProt, PIR, SwissProt. Since these are the sequence, so they are all the primary database of protein. These are the structures, so they are the secondary database of protein. PDB, CATH, SCOPE. The full form is Protein Data Bank. Class architecture, topology, homology, and third one is structural classification of proteins. Apart from these, there is a whole genome database known as Ensemble. Another is specialized database which is known as OMIM, inherited disease database, gene expression omnibus microarray database. So basically there are a variety number of databases, but basic databases are primary databases and secondary databases. Nucleotide are only having primary databases, and proteins both have primary and secondary databases. So that's it for the lecture of databases. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next video. Thank you.